Hey everyone, I'm Lindsey Smith, and welcome back to another episode of the Outlet Podcast. Today our guest is Frank Kaminsky, and happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. How you doing?
Good.
Are you about to go eat a whole bunch of food? What's your favorite Thanksgiving dish?
That's tough. Definitely turkey. I love the turkey with gravy. My grandma makes a gravy that's really good. So turkey, stuffing, and then just load the whole thing up in gravy.
Absolutely.
Especially the potatoes.
Can you cook?
No.
So grandma does
job.
most of the cooking?
Grandma, mom, back when we were younger, back when I got to spend Thanksgiving at home, my grandma, my mom, my aunts, and then all the guys just sit in the room and watch football and then eat.
Well, what's your job? Do you have a job at Thanksgiving? Do you at least
clean
do the
up
dishes?
afterwards, yeah.
Okay. All right, good.
But even then, I just clean one dish and then just go
You're
back and
look,
try to
guys,
sneak
look at
out.
this one dish that I just finished cleaning. I swear I did something.
Walk around the kitchen on my phone while everyone else is cleaning.
I don't blame you. I'm kind of the same way.
Yeah. I don't like putting... Thanksgiving's not for effort.
It's not.
It's like a lack of effort
holiday.
holiday.
And I think it's easy for us to kind of take advantage of being extra lazy on that day because the schedule... Yours is worse than mine, but I'm still around. You know what I mean? You're sandwiched in between game days. It's not like you even get a break.
Whenever you don't want to do something on a family holiday, you just say, I don't feel good. I've learned that. You can just say, oh, I ate too much. My stomach hurts. I got to go lay down.
Headache.
Yeah, I got a headache.
I don't know what's happening.
I don't feel good. Then no one asks you to do anything.
That's smart. I'm going to use that this year.
It works. I'm telling you. I've been doing it my whole life.
At my house. But I don't want to do anything.
Christmas Eve, when I was 10, I threw up, but I didn't actually feel sick. I just threw up, and I got babied for the next 4 hours. I got to open my presents earlier. It was great.
No, really?
Yeah, it just worked.
Okay, were you actually sick though, or did you make yourself throw up?
I ate too much, and I was running around the house with my cousins, and I just got overexcited and threw up. But then I milked it, saying I was sick. So I could do what I want. It works.
This is fantastic. I love that story. And it's something I would have done 100% as a child if I were in that same situation.
You got to learn how to manipulate the system.
All right, well, this is perfect because I'm already laughing. So I wanted to ask you about this because Kelly came out last week and said that you were kind of the locker room clown, the funniest guy on the team. So clearly that is the case.
That's open for other people's interpretation. I just kind of live my life how I know how to do it. And if people find it funny, then it's funny.
I mean, I think they do find it funny. So, what are you doing in the locker room? Are you a prankster? Do you just make jokes? No, not really. I
just kind of make jokes all the time.
Okay.
I'm not a super serious, sit there and have serious conversations with people. I just like to keep it light and joke around. Okay. It's kind of my personality.
So what is that locker room like? Because you keep it light and fresh. What are some of the other guys' personalities?
Ricky's kind of quiet. Ricky and Dario are kind of quiet. Everyone else is pretty outgoing though. We got a young team, so everyone seems to be meshing well. We don't have too many, what you would call older guys. I don't want to say older because I know veterans get upset when you call them older guys. We don't have too many veterans.
Right?
Yeah.
Prime pros. That's what James calls them.
Yes, that's what we have. So it's a good mix.
Okay. And so what's the culture? Because you're new coming into this, and I know a lot of the conversation in the off season and the beginning of the season was changing and creating a culture for this Phoenix Suns team. So what would you say the culture and the identity of this team is?
I've been on a lot of different teams in my life, and I think the teams that do it best culture-wise are teams that are close and know how to keep it light but also take things very seriously. And I think that's what we're building towards. When we're sitting in the locker room, after practices, before practices, just on travel days and stuff, everyone's talking, everyone's close. And I think that's one of the most constructive parts of a culture is when everyone's talking and you find out about the people so that when it does take time to get to the court, you know how to flip that switch and turn it on and be serious, but also you understand the person you're talking to. When you have too many personalities that are about themselves or distant from the team, that's when it gets hard to communicate with people. And we don't really have that. We have guys that are willing to be constructive and talk to each other and find out things about each other. And I think that's what works best.
It's pretty cool to see from the outside looking in because all the different guys that I've talked to this year, yourself included, have pretty much said that same thing. This group is just very selfless and the overall common goal is more important than an
Yeah,
individual.
everybody's hungry to win. Like that's the thing we want to change the most. We want to win games, and we want to compete for a playoff spot. And I think we've done a good job of that so far this season. Hopefully we can keep it going.
How much has Coach been a part of that?
Oh, he's huge. I mean, he even talks about it, like when he can see, like in practices, when we need to step up and talk to each other, he'll point that out, you know, because that's what he's building towards too. I mean, a really good coach knows that his players are the ones that go out on the court and they see things maybe differently than he does. And he's willing to take that input from us and let us kind of be our own team.
That's very cool. Okay, so I want to go back to something real quick. Because you said you weren't a prankster. But
I never said I wasn't prior.
Okay, because I was going to say, I know of 2 stories already.
Oh, what's one of them?
I need you to tell them to everybody because I'm in on some of these. So let's start with the smelling salts prank. How does that go? And do you plan on using it at all this year?
So, I mean, taking it all the way back.
Okay.
You see like crazy football and hockey players like online, like doing smelling salts before games.
I tried it one time when I worked for the Coyotes.
And yeah, so
it's intense.
And I just didn't understand what it was, so I went on Amazon and I ordered smelling salts just so I could try it out on myself. And you take a sniff the first time and it throws you back because you can't smell anything before, but then once you breathe in, it just like it's like a rush, but then it feels good like 10 seconds later. So what I was doing is I was like, here, like just doing it to people, just like, here, smell this. And it's too late. So like they'll already take a breath in and then everyone will freak out. And then like 10 seconds later, they'll be like, whoa.
It's like everything.
Yeah,
is
it's
like I'm so focused right now.
It's like everything like through your nose and like your airways just gets cleared.
Okay, but what was
So
the
I
reaction?
was just going up to people and just like cracking the smelling salt and putting it in their nose.
And at first they were not happy about it.
But now,
then they were like,
now
"Oh, okay."
everybody kind of likes the smelling salt. So it's not really a prank anymore. But
yeah. Do you use smelling salt still?
Sometimes.
Like during actual games?
Sometimes before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it helps?
I mean, if you're looking for a quick like, ooh, I'm awake, like right before you go out there, yeah.
How long do you think it lasts for you?
Not as long as caffeine does.
Okay. That's good to know. All right, and the second prank that I'm aware of is this prom prank. How you asked your high school sweetheart to prom. I think this is a hilarious story, only because it didn't happen to me.
So this is me in a nutshell. Like, I can't do things seriously. Like, heaven forbid, like the day I ever find someone and I'm gonna ask them to marry me. Like, there's no way I'm getting down on one knee and just being like, "Will you marry me?" There's no chance. Like, it's got to be some elaborate scheme. So, in high school, the girl I was dating, she was always terrified to be home alone, like watch scary movies. And I love scary movies. Like, I like being by myself. So I was like, what can I do that's going to scare the hell out of her? And so essentially what I did is it was me and her. We were hanging out at her house. I texted her parents and I was like, hey, could you guys like leave? Not like I told them what I was doing for all those people who get their head out of there. I was like, I'm going to be asking her to prom. It's going to be like this funny way. And I had her little brother and a couple of my friends stage a break-in at her house. So I had them upstairs. They were like moving chairs around, like dropping things on the floor. And I was like down there, I was like, I think somebody's here. Like, isn't your family gone? And there she was like, yeah, they're supposed to be gone. And
So mean.
And so I'm like going up there. I found like a little baseball bat in her basement. I'm going up there and I'm like creeping through the door.
So you guys were in the basement?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh God, there's people here. Like, there's people here. And then they're like, and then I had like my friends up there, like, are there people in the house? Like stuff like that.
Gosh.
So like they start like opening up the door and like running down the stairs and she's hiding underneath her stairs, like in a little closet, just like bawling her eyes out.
Aww.
And I had my friend walk down with like a bouquet of flowers and everything. Like, will you go to prom with him?
Did
So
she say yes?
Yeah, I mean, after
Were you kind of surprised that she said yes?
a little bit, but it was funny. I thought it was hilarious. Everyone else thought it was funny. She did not think it was very funny.
Did she think it was funny like 2 weeks later once it had all kind of died down? She still was?
No, that was something she stayed mad about for a while.
Okay. So do you plan on bringing pranks back at some point in time with this Suns team?
I mean, I just still do all these little pranks all the time. Like, when I have a bunch of visitors at my house, I'll go get Birdie Bot's beans like the Harry Potter beans.
Oh, okay.
And I'll take out all the rotten egg ones, but then leave all the good ones and just the rotten egg. So, like, they'll be eating jelly beans and be like, these are pretty good. And then they'll get a rotten egg
There's
one.
like one random one. Just like, that's mean.
It's mean,
That's
but it's
so mean.
It's funny to see people's reactions. Like, people's reactions to things are when they don't know what's happening is what makes it funny.
Are the greatest thing. Yes, I'm with you. We play pranks in our office all the time. It's usually just like the pop out and scare you kind of pranks, but they're still hilarious.
That's the thing. Like,
Anything,
pop out and
though,
scare you anymore. That's
if
like
you
early
get them,
2000s.
But if you get them,
Now
the
you need to-
facial look, like
you
the
need to
reactions are great.
You need to step your prank game up.
Well, how about let's do some pranks this year? Because I'm down.
I have a prank I've been wanting to pull off for a very long time. It's very elaborate. I want to stage like a cult thing. I've been thinking about this for a while. Like,
tell me more.
I don't know. I was listening to this podcast once, and it was this hockey player, and he was talking about like his rookies.
Okay.
And he was basically like staged this like cult thing at a house in Las Vegas, and
Like,
I don't want to get into
like,
details, but like
this is a cult, and he's bringing his rookies.
No,
to
but they
join
thought
this
they were
cult?
going to a party.
Okay.
And they show up to the party, and it's like a cult party.
It's
And they're like
hey, be a
sacrificing
part of our
people
cult.
to the
This is
point
really
where
awkward.
his rookies were like jumping out of windows to escape the house.
No.
I want to do something like that,
That's
like on
a
that
lot.
level. But that takes way too much planning and
It
way too much
does.
time.
But
That
I'm down.
nothing would give me more satisfaction than to be able to pull that off on like a big group of people.
Okay. So before I got here, they used to play a lot of pranks, like the team on each other. And I haven't been able to be a part of one, and I'm really jealous.
Maybe we should think something up.
Let's do it. If you're down, I am 100%
No secrets
down.
of giving it away now.
No, they'll keep it a secret.
Yeah.
They're good at this.
Okay.
So we're gonna make that happen. Deal?
Deal. I'm in.
Perfect. Okay. So I know you're a shoe guy. You're rocking the Jordan.
Yeah.
How did you become a Jordan athlete?
Well, I got drafted in Charlotte.
Right.
MJ owns the team.
So is that just like a natural thing? If you get
It's
drafted
not
to Charlotte,
not
you become
necessarily a
Jordan
natural
athlete?
team. Like some guys like have a favorite shoe brand already.
Mm-hmm.
Like some guys will come in and be Adidas, be Nike. But I've always, I grew up in Chicago. Michael Jordan was one of my idols.
Right.
Wore Jordans growing up. Had all the shoes. So when that opportunity became available, I was like, it didn't matter. Like, I know there was other like shoe deals that were talked about like in pre-draft and stuff like that, and you're testing out shoes, see what you like, what you don't like. And Jordan wasn't even
It
one
was
of
just
them.
kinda
But then once
this
I
is
got
my
drafted, this
thing.
is a thing, and
Yeah.
I want to be Jordan.
Okay, so I'm guessing you've met MJ, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about Michael. Like, what is he like as a person? What were those interactions like?
He has like, first of all, I've told this story before, but when I got drafted in Charlotte, I was back home. It was a little bit after the draft. I was working out, and I kept getting this phone call from a Florida number, and I'm like most normal people. I don't answer phone numbers that I don't have saved
Absolutely
in my
not.
phone. I never do. I let it go to voicemail every time, and if it's important enough, they'll leave a voicemail.
or
and I'll
they'll
call 'em
text
back.
you after.
Yeah.
Right.
So I kept getting this call from this Florida number like 2, 3, 4 times, and I'm like, okay, maybe I should answer this. And I finally answered, and it was him. So I denied his call like 4 times before I finally answered it, and I was so like taken aback, and I was like, he's like, "What's up? This is MJ." I'm like, "Oh Jesus."
My bad.
I was like, "My bad." I was like,
Did he call you out for
no,
ignoring his call?
no, he didn't. Luckily, and I was like, "Oh, sorry, I'm in a gym with bad reception."
Lies. You ignored those
at
calls.
that point, you gotta save face. But he definitely, being around him is really cool. Just
I can
his
imagine.
view on the game, his advice to you. He's the greatest basketball player of all time. So anything he says is really cool.
Yeah, for sure. What's your favorite pair?
That's tough. It depends on the situation. Like
Okay, favorite like lifestyle pair first.
3s and 4s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, favorite shoe to play in.
Growing up, I would have said the 12s because I had a lot of my shoe size was changing so fast. And at that time, my aunt, she's actually an assistant coach still for the Bulls. So she used to have access to all like the Jordans and stuff. So she used to just give us like all the extra pairs of shoes that were lying around. So I used to have a lot of 12s. Now that I've gotten older, I think the 9s and the 13s are my favorite to play in.
Okay. And then, like, do you like to match your shoes with your jerseys, or are you kind of like a fun, unique colorway when you're playing?
It kind of depends on the situation. Like when we do like cool like specialty nights, like military appreciation. In Charlotte, we did like 90s night and stuff like that. Like I like doing like different stuff.
Okay. So
it doesn't necessarily have to match. I'm the kind of person, when I wear the same pair of shoes like over and over and over again, I kind of start to get bored with them.
Really?
And want to like change it up. Like I can't pick like one shoe and wear it all the time. It has to be a couple different shoes that I'm rotating through.
So how many shoes would you say that you kind of go through or rotate in a season?
That's the thing. Like when I do it like that, I never like beat up a pair of shoes, and I don't like breaking in new ones. So like I don't use that many pairs, but I'll just rotate them throughout like the season. Okay. Like some guys will pick one pair of shoes, wear them like 5-6 games in a row, and then be done with them. I 1 or 2 games rotate.
I've always thought that was like interesting, because you would think that, I don't know, just from my perspective, like you wouldn't want to break in a shoe multiple times throughout the season. And I know you can break it in like at practice. It's not like you're breaking it in for the first time in a game. But you would think that once that shoe is kind of broken in, like you're going to ride it out for a little bit. Is that hard to break in a shoe these days, or you just
get a pair of shoes and then just put them on and wear them in a game.
Right.
I know some people will do that. Like I at least need to go through shoot around like in them before. But yeah, everyone has their different preferences. Like some people can just take a pair of shoes and go play. Put them on and go play. Mine got to be broken in.
Okay. Who's the biggest shoe guy in this group? Because I feel like there's a lot of shoe guys.
That's tough
on this team.
I mean, Kelly's definitely the most like lifestyle fashion guy.
Right.
So, I mean, anything fashion and anything lifestyle, I'd just defer to him. But I definitely, like, there's no question I have the most shoes out of anybody on our team.
How many would you say you have?
I don't know.
Like, you mean at home too, not just like the stuff that you play in. Mm-hmm. When did you start collecting?
I mean, once I became Jordan, just any pair of Jordans, I have them.
Can you even give us like a ballpark, like what you think?
See, here's the thing too, like,
because this is
in the beginning, like, so, like, I don't know, Jordan Brand, like, every single time they release a retro, like, every 4 weeks or so, like, they just show up at your house.
Okay.
Like, it's not like I have to, like, say, ooh, I want these.
Can I get that pair?
It just shows up. And
God, it must be so lovely to open your mail.
In the beginning, I was like, this is the coolest thing. Like, I hope it never ends. And then, like, you realize I wear a size 16 shoe. These don't really, like, I don't have space for all this stuff. So over the course of my 5 years with the brand, I don't even know. I couldn't even guess. And I've probably given away more stuff than I've worn, like, myself, because I just simply like don't have space for it.
Okay, so is that a thing that happens amongst teammates? Do you guys swap shoes sometimes when you share the same size?
I've definitely given away shoes to teammates before. I mean, and people ask too, because like Nike guys, they can wear technically Jordan shoes, but like their reps won't send them to them. Right. So like they just ask, hey, can I get a pair of these shoes? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely.
Well, I mean, and you can wear different types of shoes when you're not playing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So. Yeah, and I mean, and off the court too, like, I've had teammates before, like, I'm not saying like most guys that are like regular rotation players, like guys that have their own rep that they can send it to. But I mean, when you have training camp guys and guys that are kind of, I don't want to be rude or anything, but like fringe NBA players, like they don't get the same access to stuff. So if somebody wears the same size, I just tell them, come over to my house, bring a bag, and take whatever you want.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I really like that.
No one's benefited more from it than my dad, though.
Do you guys wear the same size?
It's to the point now where my dad in the beginning was like, ooh, can I take this? Like, ooh, this is really nice. Can I have this? Now he just shows up with duffel bags at my house. Like, this is mine. Like, doesn't even ask. Mine. Yeah.
Listen, if I were your dad, I'd probably do the exact
It's like
same
we were in Minnesota the other night, and we get like these Jordan PSG, like the soccer team.
Okay.
Get their like all their gear, and I had mine in a separate box in my room, and I show up to the game and my dad's just decked out on all the PSG. So I was like, so I saw you went in my room and took all my stuff.
So you went through my mail.
Yeah, pretty much.
Thanks.
Yeah. He's gotten wild with it.
I would do that.
I don't blame him either.
Same thing.
I don't blame him either.
Okay. I think this is one of the more important questions that I need an answer to. How do you become a very, very, very important person at Chipotle? Like, how does that work?
I tell everybody all the time, I just begged. Twitter, Instagram, going through my agency. I was just like, I love Chipotle, and I know these Chipotle cards exist.
Yeah,
Like,
but
what
I
do I have
heard
to do to get one?
that your Chipotle card is like on another level
Well,
of Chipotle cards.
it was like one of the older ones. Like, I know they give out more now to more
Okay.
people, so it's a little bit different. I got
So you
lucky.
have, like,
I got
the
on the
OG
train.
card.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm one of the older guys on this team, so I got lucky. But yeah, basically what I did is I begged.
Okay.
I knew that they existed. I had a teammate that had one. Jeremy Lin had one, so that was
Okay.
the first time I ever saw one. And he used to take us to Chipotle all the time. And after he signed with the Nets, I was like, I got to get one. Like, I can't go back to paying for Chipotle all the time.
So how many times a week would you say you eat Chipotle?
It's different in the summer when I'm not doing as much. Like, I have my routine, and I don't want to say Chipotle is unhealthy because I'd eat it every meal,
Yeah.
breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
But you're also a professional athlete,
Yeah.
so what's healthy for like a normal person might be a little bit
Yeah.
different.
So
than-
like I have
so.
someone who like does meal prepping for me. So I don't eat it as much during the season. I probably go once or twice a week during the season. But in the off season, it's 4, 5, 6 times
I
a
still
week.
feel like once or twice a week is kind of a lot to go to the
No.
exact same place though.
No, I'm a very routine oriented person. Like I like eating the same things,
Okay.
like because I know what I like. Like, and I don't like trying new things and like taking a chance that I won't like it. Because I'd say 75% of the time I won't like it.
Really?
So
I kind of took you for the opposite. Somebody
No.
who was willing to give everything a shot first.
no, that's Baines.
Okay. I
He'll
can
eat
see that.
he'll eat
I
anything you
can
put in front of
absolutely
him.
see that. He is just like, I don't understand.
He's a different
I don't
human.
understand
Yeah.
Aaron, to be honest with you, because
I haven't figured
he's
it
a
out yet
total
either.
foodie and he'll eat anything, but he literally looks like all he eats is protein 24/7. Like it just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm kind of jealous about
I don't
the
understand it either.
situation, whatever's
There's some people that are like that too. Like one of my best friends, he'll eat cheeseburgers for every meal and still is in
Super
great
great
physical shape.
Yeah, I'm just
Doesn't make
I
any
don't-
sense.
I don't
Like,
understand.
I just want to eat. Realistically, I just want to eat pizza like all the time.
Pizza, Chipotle,
Like breakfast pizza,
tacos.
anything. I can't
all
do
the
it.
pizzas.
Anything.
Okay, what's your favorite toppings on a pizza?
That's barbecue chicken pizza is really good.
Okay, that's a pretty solid one.
Yeah.
Have you found a go-to pizza place in Phoenix yet?
They have Lou Malnati's here, and
Which
that's
is
a
always good.
that's a Chicago thing.
Yeah.
So
So you
that's
like
my
to go
go-to.
to that one?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Speaking of Aaron, this mosh pit thing you guys have going on. Last week, I saw you protecting
that?
Aaron. It was the funniest part of the entire mosh pit because I love the mosh pit to begin
Yeah.
with, but I saw that and I was like,
I just like doing some. It just goes back. I just do random funny things, and he was just standing there, and you could tell he didn't want to partake. So I just
So you
made
just
sure
had to
nobody
make sure
touched
nobody
him. Yeah.
touched him. How do you like the mosh pits? And where did it kind of originate? I'm guessing
I
Kelly
honestly,
was kind of
I honestly
the
have
person
no
behind
idea.
it.
Like, they just showed up like the first preseason game, and everyone started doing it. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go shove people.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's better than like the boring, just like, okay, everybody put your hands in, like,
Yeah.
go us.
Well, because you do that multiple times
yeah.
throughout the game.
You do it
so this
82
is like
times
an
this season.
Exciting tip
Yeah.
off to it. Yeah, I love it. It's new, so it wasn't something that
Keep
like
things light.
has been going on for a while.
Keep
It's
things
new.
light, have that fun, and then flip the switch once the game starts.
I
That's
like
what I was
it.
talking about.
Okay, so I heard that you're not a big fan of mascots.
No.
So what's the backstory? Did something happen?
Yeah.
Okay, what happened?
You know Chuck E. Cheese? Mm-hmm. That
I
rat.
wasn't expecting it to go all the way back to
That
Chuck E.
rat.
Cheese.
I don't know what that mouse, Chuck E. Cheese, whatever it is, rat mouse. When I was growing up, like, that thing just terrified me to my core. And then, like, I've always had like this odd like thing with, okay, that's a grown man like in a suit, like acting like
Like hanging out
like,
with
it's
kids.
just-
Yeah, no, I
it's-
feel you. I get it.
it never like, I'm the only person, like, I knew most of our mascots in college, but like when they put on the mascot thing, it's like you're not that person anymore. Like
Right.
you're some weird
Character
thing. And then they like don't know how to leave you alone. And so like I've hit mascots before. I've like smacked their face things like, just please leave me
Have
alone.
you and Benny the Bull ever?
Oh,
He's
Benny
pretty
the Bull.
ornery.
Anytime Benny the Bull, when I was a kid growing up going to Bulls games, I ran away.
Oh.
Every single time. Horrified.
Have
don't
they
know what it
not
was.
messed with you?
No.
Since you've been a player?
No,
I'm kind of surprised because
now
he's
now
notorious for
I
being
figured
that
out
guy.
now I figured out like if you just stand there and don't say anything, like they'll just leave you alone.
Okay.
Like if you give them anything back, that's when they don't stop.
Right. Makes sense. That's funny. I did not think it was going to go all the way back to Chuck E. Cheese in childhood.
It was Chuck E. Cheese. Like
But I
those
get
things
it,
just horrified me.
Because I mean, clowns are like kind of the same thing. Like I like
See, I
mascots.
like
I don't
clowns
like
more though
clowns.
because clowns are like actual people.
Yeah, but
like, you
it's
can
the
see
same
it's a
idea
person
that
with-
it's a person
it's
and it's a
not.
painted on face.
It's not because I can see that person's painted on face. Like some guy in like a costume with like a huge head on, like you don't know who he is.
Fair. Okay, I'll give you that one. Okay, so we had some fan questions come in. And the first one is top 5 bands.
Ooh, that's actually really easy. Goo Goo Dolls, Blink-182, Sum 41, Dave Matthews Band, and I'd say the Killers.
Okay, that's a solid lineup.
Yeah.
I've seen Sum 41 and Blink-182 in concert a couple times.
I've seen Blink once. I haven't seen Sum 41.
They're pretty
and
fun.
that's my number one, I think.
Yeah,
Well,
you think
Goo Goo
so?
Dolls and Sum 41 are kind of.
Okay. I saw them at a Warped Tour, like back when I was in college. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Are you a concert person?
No.
It's,
I don't like being in big crowds like that at concerts. I kind of stick out too much.
yeah, I could see
And
that.
I don't know. I feel
But
like
then-
everybody can like see me.
But then if you're in the back, you can see everything.
Like when
Without
I
having to
go
be
and
so
there's like a VIP area that you can like buy like the VIP tickets to. I'd go every time because like I
vibe.
think concerts like I think the light show, I think like the videos, I think everything's really cool. But like just being out in the crowd sometimes gives me too much anxiety.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I can understand. When I was younger, I was super into it and a lot of fun. I think now that I've gotten a little older, I'm
Yeah.
like, I need some space. Y'all are in my
Yeah.
bubble.
Like I've gone to like I mean I guess the thing that kind of turned I hadn't been to too many concerts. Like I went to a couple growing up, and then I went to Lollapalooza in Chicago.
How was that?
There's just so many people.
I always
It's
wanted
just
to go to that
it's
one.
too crazy for me.
Yeah?
Like I like going out and having fun and like doing fun stuff, but like when there's that many people and let's be real, they are under the influence of multiple things at those concerts. It's just
Facts.
it's too much for me.
Yeah, for sure. Are you kind of more outgoing in terms of like liking to be around people, but just maybe not
Yeah.
that big of a setting, or more
Yeah.
introverted?
I'm weird. I'm really weird. Like I like hanging out and being around people, but I also like need my alone time, like by myself.
Yeah, I got
I
you on
need
that
like
one.
a healthy balance between the two. Like when
It's
people
good
come
for
and
you.
visit and they're here for like 5 days and there's like my whole family's here. It's like after day 2, I'm just like everybody needs to go.
Can you all go get dinner
Yeah.
together and then go see a movie and leave me here
Yes.
for 6 hours?
And that's when they all get mad at me. It's like, what, you don't want to hang out with us? Like we don't see you that much. It's like, okay, I just hung out with you for like 2 straight days.
It's just a lot at one
Yeah.
point in time. You
It's too
know,
much.
like if we got to space it out a little bit. I love seeing you, but I'm with you on that one. Okay, favorite thing about Phoenix so far?
The weather, without question.
Mm-hmm.
It's been the best.
Did you experience any of the summer though?
Yeah.
Okay, so that wasn't terrible.
Well, I've come here for like bachelor parties and weekends and like come here to hang out in the summers before. And I thought like Scottsdale is a lot of fun to do that. And I mean, 114 degrees is a little excessive,
It's rough.
but I'd take that over
Like negative 14.
in the
Same.
winters.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a lot easier to still do things.
Like
in
even
the
right
summer.
now, it's like in the 50s. It's not that great outside. It's still better than what I'm used to at this time, which is snowy, cold,
Yes.
like wearing a huge jacket, making sure you got like a ski mask so your face
Shoveling a
doesn't.
driveway? No, thank you. Okay, tell us about the 3-point celebration. Where did this start? When did it start?
So last year in Charlotte, in practices, we had people that were called hot guys, which you're supposed to run them off the 3-point line at any cost. And I used to be like the hot guy in practice.
Okay. And how
Started
do you,
in practice
do you like
and
it?
it went from there. And everyone thought it was funny. So it's like one of
So
those
keep it
things you think
going.
it's funny, you just keep it going.
I like it when people have like a specific celebration that's like unique to them.
Kelly's got his kiss to the stands. Everybody's got something different.
Exactly. I like it. Okay, that's cool. Favorite episode of The Office? Can you pick one?
Oh, can I pick one? I could probably pick one and act it out for you, but I'm not going to do all that.
Yes, let's do it because I haven't seen all of them.
I think the murder mystery episode. I That's hard.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
There's so many good
can
episodes.
you pick one? Yeah. There's a lot to pick from.
Yeah, Frame Toby's a great episode. The dinner date at Michael's house is a great episode. There's just I mean, I've watched seasons 1 through until Michael leaves probably 50 times through in my life.
Really?
That's
impressive.
No joking. I mean, it's just like, at this point, it's one of those shows that I like turn on just to have something on in the background, and then the next thing you know, you watch like 5 episodes.
I can relate to that too. Do you have a favorite quote or a favorite line? Because I know there's a ton of them, but is there one that you find yourself constantly saying?
I can't say I'm on here.
No?
No. I do have a favorite one, and it's what Michael says to Jim about his seduction method. You should just go look it up.
If you know The Office, you'll know what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This one I really enjoy because it's different. What's the best thing in life for you? And you can take some time to think about this one, because that could be a deep question.
I think the best thing in life for me has been, I think, everyone has a journey and a path that they took to where they are in life, whether that be a difficult path, a long journey, a short one, successful, unsuccessful. Everyone sets out like on this goal in their life. And I've seen that. You can see it like with your friends, especially being 26 years old now, where people are starting to figure out like what they're truly going to do with themselves. When I was 4 years old, I said I wanted to be an NBA player. Like, there was 3 things. I have this on my kindergarten thing back at my mom's house. I said I wanted to be Frank Thomas, because I'm a huge Chicago White Sox fan. Number 2 was an NBA player, and number 3 was a garbage man, because I thought it was so cool how the garbage man could like ride on the back of the truck like outside when they were going to house.
Like, that's what you would want to do as a kid, and your parents would never let you.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
I'm with you.
So like from 4 on, like even when I got into high school, like I'd be like, no, I'm going to play in the NBA one day. Like, that's what I want to do. Like, there's no question about it. And it was funny how people thought like I was just like kidding. Mm-hmm. And like there was a time frame there where it was like, there's no possible chance you're ever going to play in the NBA. You're not mature. You're not tall enough. Like, this is back when I was growing up. And then like as I got better and better and better, and like you have these people that are on the journey with you, like your mom, dad, sisters, friends, cousins, aunts, uncles, like everybody gets to see like you grow into the person like you're becoming. And I think that's the coolest part about life for me, is that I've been on this journey with, so many people for so long now, and they've seen, me in my life get from point A to point whatever you call it, wherever I am now. And just also for me to see like how they've grown as well too. Like my sisters like starting to figure out their careers, like what they want to do. All my friends starting to figure out what's going on in their lives. People getting married, people having kids. It's just because I miss out on a lot of things being where I am, traveling so much, so that I get to live vicariously kind of through the group of people that lived vicariously through me for so long.
That's super cool. I like that a lot. And then just kind of within that journey, how have you found yourself? Because obviously as an NBA player, one of the biggest things that I've noticed about every athlete I've met is that the desire to give back is so huge. Mm-hmm. So where have you found yourself like finding just those little things that sort of mean a little bit more to you?
There's things that I do on my own, like outside. Obviously, you get so many opportunities to do really cool things, like through the organization, like NBA Cares, those kind of events, Thanksgiving events, Christmas drives, stuff like that. The thing that's really, been special for me is, I've always done stuff with the Children's Hospital. Every Christmas, kids that are going to be in the hospital on Christmas, I've gone and like given out presents. Christmas is a huge time. I'm super into Christmas. So I think I always want everyone to experience like that giving and loving feel around the holidays. And something else that's, that I've seen personally that I think is amazing is my mom's been a special ed teacher for 30 years now. Mm-hmm. and she gets asked, it's the typical NBA thing, like, your son's in the NBA. He's like, why haven't you retired yet? And it's just my mom, I go back to school and visit with her students, and just to see how much she cares about, like, other people's lives and how she's not willing to retire yet and move on and just be around me I think that's really special and really amazing. Just to go back and visit with her students, see how much they care about her, how much she cares about them, and how much time and effort she puts into that. I think that's really cool. So that's why I've also done stuff with the Special Olympics before. Just having that connection with my mom, and I know how much she cares about that.
Very cool. Yeah, it's more than just a job for her.
Yes.
For sure. Okay, so 2 more things for you. The first was nicknames. So everyone has heard Frank the Tank.
I got a lot.
Kelly came out and told us it's El Ocho.
El Ocho?
What other nicknames do you have, and which ones are your favorite, I guess?
So Frank the Tank was the easy one. That was when Old School came out. Everyone started calling me that. Started calling myself the Moose in college because when I was 44, you put the 2 4s up here, it kind of looks like a moose. I've gone with El Ocho. The one that I've kind of recently gotten people calling me is Hippo.
Hippo, okay. What's this?
I was in just another one of those board things. I was in the airport. My flight kept getting delayed. So I ended up watching like a YouTube thing on hippos.
Okay.
And like how they're like the most deadliest mammals in the world.
Even though you think they're all cute and like friendly. Yeah.
And like how they attack people and like come up on boats and stuff. I was like, hippos are kind of badass. So I want to be a hippo. And I'm like, so I changed my Twitter and Instagram name to Hippo and started calling. Like I'll do like little random things. Like I just watched a movie. I think it's really good. Highly recommend it. I'm really into movies too. It's called Peanut Butter Falcon.
Okay.
And it's about a special needs kid who escapes like where he is, meets this guy. They go on a journey. He wants to become a wrestler, go to a wrestling school and like do like WWE stuff. And he comes up with a name and it's Peanut Butter Falcon. And I like told people like, I will not respond or do anything for you unless you call me Peanut Butter Falcon. Gosh. I come up with just so many random stupid nicknames.
So is El Ocho,
and they last
like
for about a couple months. That's one of them.
Okay. I think I'm going to call you Peanut Butter Falcon.
I got to come up with another one now, though, because I want to. Hippo's fun.
All right. Let me know when you figure out what the next one is.
Okay.
Because I want to be on board with it. All right. Last thing I got for you. This fan question came in quite a few times. I'm sure you can imagine. Now that you are here in Phoenix, they want to know why you did U of A the way you did U of A for 2 years in a row.
It's the same thing. They were just in the way. Like, it's not like I was like, ooh, Arizona, I have to play really well now. It was just they just happened to meet us in the Elite Eight to get to the Final Four 2 years in a row.
Hey, I mean, like, I'm not mad at this by any means.
It's like, it's funny. It's in sports. It's like people are like, why did you do that to my team? It was like, because I wanted to win.
Right.
Like,
it's like, it's not like I can just be like, oh, sorry, this one person's a fan of this team,
yeah.
So now I'm just going to take the night off.
You can't please everyone. Like, could you imagine what it would be like if, like, the other way around, like, why did you play so bad against Arizona for your own fan base?
Yes.
So I'd rather it be like your own fan base is super happy than the opposing fan base hates you because you beat their team. I'd take the people hating me over losing.
Yeah, for sure.
Every single day.
Okay, but now that it's kind of like a mix of the two, if you will, because you're a Phoenix Sun.
That's true.
Half of the fan base is probably U of A fans, or at least a good amount of them. So how do we mend this merging of
by
fan
taking
bases,
the Suns to the next level?
There you go. I think that's a fair way to remedy this situation.
Absolutely, I agree.
All right, cool. Well, Frank, thank you so much for hanging out with us. I had a blast
for
today.
having me.
I don't know if I've laughed as much in any of our other podcasts as this one.
Keep it light, keep it fun.
And I will keep you posted on a prank. Or you give me an idea, I'll give you ideas.
I'll come up with something.
I'll do the logistics and you just be there to pull the prank off.
Okay.
It's gonna happen.
I'm already thinking.
All right, I'm stoked.
I got you.
All right, guys, happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you later.